doll said to be cursed, but curses are not toys. They are debts. On July 13th, 2025, Dan Rivera stopped breathing, and Annabelle smiled, as if she knew.
Dan Rivera wasn't your typical paranormal TV personality. He was a 54-year-old U.S. Army veteran, a husband, a father, and a deeply respected investigator in the field of the paranormal. For over a decade, he served as a senior lead investigator with the New England Society for Psychic Research, the organization founded by the legendary Ed and Lorraine Warren, whose cases inspired hits like the Conjuring series. Rivera was known for his compassion, sharp intellect, and ability to balance skepticism with empathy. Those who knew him described someone who could hold a room of ghost-hunting skeptics and believers in rapt attention without ever tipping into kitsch or carnival theatrics. His recent rise to broader fame stemmed from clever showmanship and digital savvy. He not only hosted live theatrical Annabelle exhibits, but also produced viral TikTok content that racked up millions of views this summer. On top of that, he was credited as a consulting producer on the Netflix series 28 Days Haunted. That rare combination, authenticity, gravitas, and on-camera charisma, helped bring a historically niche line of work into mainstream view, the Devils on the Run tour. During the weekend of July 11th to 13th, 2025, Rivera was leading one of New England Society for Psychic Research marquee events, the Devils on the Run tour. The closing stop was in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, a city steeped in Civil War history and ghost lore. The exhibit took place in the historic Soldiers National Orphanage homestead, a venue locally associated with eerie stories and spectral sightings, making it a natural fit for the Annabelle presentation. The branding leaned into the supernatural devils, Annabelle, Gettysburg, but the actual event unfolded with professionalism. Attendees recall Rivera's presentation as measured and respectful, not sensationalist. He emphasized proper handling, security protocols, and a serious tone that underscored both audience safety and historical context. It was Ed and Lorraine Warren style, but modernized, dramatic enough to be compelling, grounded enough to feel sincere. A sudden tragedy. What unfolded next stunned the paranormal community and local residents alike. On Sunday, July 13th, 2025, after the final Devils on the Run events had drawn to a close, Dan Rivera was discovered unresponsive in his hotel room in Strabon Township, just outside Gettysburg. According to Pennsylvania State Police and local reports, Rivera had been traveling with colleagues that morning, but mentioned feeling ill and returned to his room. Later, co-workers could not locate him, prompting them to check his room where they found him, unresponsive, and immediately called 911. By the time emergency personnel arrived, CPR was already in progress, efforts initiated by his co-workers while awaiting first responders. Sadly, those life-saving attempts were unsuccessful, and Rivera could not be revived, prompting an abrupt and somber shift in the weekend's tone from spectacle to tragedy. Authorities responded promptly and professionally. The Pennsylvania State Police made it clear in their official summary that nothing appeared unusual or suspicious at the scene, and they had ruled the incident a natural death, stressing that an autopsy would be conducted to determine the precise cause. Locally, outlets like Evening Sun and regional CBS affiliates echoed this, corroborating that no signs of foul play were detected, and that the scene was typical of an unexpected medical emergency, rather than any criminal or mysterious event. In the days that followed, the phrase "nothing suspicious" together with the classification of natural cause pending autopsy was widely circulated in national news coverage. The clear tone struck by law enforcement helped anchor the narrative in factual and respectful reporting, steering the public dialogue away from sensationalism, at least initially. Annabelle. The doll was not in the room. Almost immediately after news broke, the rumor mill roared. Had Annabelle, the notorious possessed doll, somehow made its way into Rivera's hotel room? Social media lit up with speculative memes. Annabelle strikes again? Haunted doll revenge. transforming an already tragic situation into clickbait fodder for some. Thankfully, reliable reporting and official statements swiftly set the record straight. Adams County Coroner Francis Dutrow, through CNN and People, unequivocally confirmed that Annabelle was not present in Rivera's hotel room, nor was it discovered upon arrival at the scene. State police continued to back this up, reiterating that no forced entry, foul play, or anything out of the ordinary was observed, and that there was no connection between the doll and the tragedy. The transparent and consistent messaging played a critical role in quelling superstitions and speculative narratives, replacing them with grounded, law enforcement verified facts. Reports in outlets such as People, CNN, and WRAL conveyed these clarifications with clarity, ensuring that readers understood the difference between myth and reality. The focus returned to Rivera's life, career, and the cause of death process, rather than invoking ghost story tropes in the face of grief. What we know and what we don't yet. Here's the evidence-based summary. Rivera died unexpectedly in his hotel room late Sunday morning. CPR was attempted. Authorities found nothing suspicious. The incident is classified as natural pending autopsy. Annabelle was not in the room, and an autopsy and toxicology report are pending, with estimates that these will take several weeks to conclude. What we don't know yet includes the specific cause of death, whether it was cardiac arrest, an undiagnosed medical condition, or something else entirely. As with many sudden deaths, experts are urging patience until the medical examiner releases definitive findings. How the tour and community responded. In the wake of Rivera's death, New England Society for Psychic Research and the community had to balance grief with operational reality. Some fans and colleagues described the decision to continue the tour as emotionally fraught. The show must go on is hardly a comforting mantra when someone just died doing your job. Yet many insiders reinforced that carrying on was Logan's choice, not posthumous marketing, and a way to honor his passion for bringing educational paranormal exhibits to the public. Remember, Rivera spent years teaching people about paranormal lore and how to approach it responsibly. So there's an ironic grace in the idea that the tour continued, carefully, respectfully, the way he always intended. Why the sobering reality often gets lost behind the legend. It's easy to see why a story like this proved irresistible. Sudden death meets haunted doll myth in a storied town full of ghost tours. It's like lightning striking on cue. Social media transformed it into a narrative ripe for sensationalism. But in truth, the case is heartbreakingly ordinary. A person died unexpectedly, and while grieving, we feel a desperate urge to find meaning. Even supernatural meaning, even in the darkest, most chaotic moments. Experts in the paranormal community pushed back publicly. For instance, Jason Hawes from Ghost Hunters condemned the rush to mystify. He called it downright disgusting to leap from fact to horror. That helped re-anchor the conversation back in reality. Respect, reflection, and patience until the full autopsy results are known. Annabelle's story and New England Society for Psychic Research legacy. For readers new to the lore, Annabelle's real story stretches back to the 1970s in Connecticut, when a nurse's Raggedy Ann doll allegedly became the site of unsettling paranormal activity. The Warrens, who investigated, attributed the disturbances to malevolent, not benign spirits. For decades, the doll was kept in their occult museum in Monroe, Connecticut, which was closed to the public. But some pieces traveled with New England Society for Psychic Research to select touring exhibits under tight security. It wasn't horror theater, it was controlled environments designed to blend history, folklore, and ethical presentation. Dan Rivera embodied that ethos. He brought storytelling, technical setup, and historical context to an audience hungry for both thrills and authenticity. That's worth remembering, not just as tribute, but as a lesson in respectful presentation. And that's the story surrounding the sudden and heartbreaking passing of paranormal investigator Dan Rivera. If you found this breakdown helpful and want to stay updated as more details emerge, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, stay curious, stay respectful, and remember, Not every mystery needs a monster behind it.
Doctors failed. Machines failed. Rivera did not return. Yet Annabelle remains on her throne of glass. Was it coincidence or collection? The doll does not answer, but the silence does.